Yeah, it has. It's been really good to watch as well. I think the standard of cricket and the manner of the way the England team have played has been very pleasing on the eye. And I think to beat an Indian side 4-0, and it wasn't just that they beat them, they hammered them. And I think that's what good teams do. They sniff weaknesses in the opposition and they capitalise on any position and they grind them into the ground and make them pay for not playing as well. And that's what the England side did. And I think the preparation which the side put in now and the real professionalism around the camp is what is really driving them to the performance levels of which they're at. And I can see them getting better and better. I still think there's improvement. I still think the players can improve their games. I still think there's ways that they can get better in foreign conditions, and they know that as individuals and as a team, and that's really exciting as an England supporter.
That professionalism and that attention to detail was one of the characteristics of your captaincy, and that's been continued and taken on even further, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I mean, everything around the England camp's got bigger and better. The squad of which they've got to choose from is a lot bigger now. You know, the depth is quite incredible, particularly in the bowling department. The backroom team is the biggest in the world, but a very professional one with, you know, really good people involved. Graham Gooch, Richard Housel, Mushtaq Ahmed, Andy Flowers doing a great job as coach. They've got a very solid captain in the Test ranks in Andrew Strauss. Alistair Cook started well in the one-day department. You know, Graham Swan looked quite good in the 2020 cabs, just in replacement for Stuart Broad. But, you know, you look at everything that's going on at Loughborough, you know, with the development teams of the age groups from under 15s onwards, that everything is to attention to detail to make sure that they know everything about every player in every condition. So once they do play for England, they've almost played for England before they've got there. They've put them under pressure. They've put them in positions that they know that they have to deliver, and that's what it's about being at the top level. You have to deliver under pressure, and England know everything about all their players.
Do you think in a way it was that first Ashes win under your captaincy after all those years that was the sort of launch pad to give England the confidence to move forward?
I don't know. I mean, it was important that we beat Australia. It had been so long, and the Australians had bullied the England side for so many years, and you know, an England side was going to beat Australia eventually. But a little bit of a change in mentality was required. I think being more aggressive and more positive and enjoying cricket a bit more. And I think that's what I see now with the England side. They play good, solid cricket. They enjoy the game, and you're always going to enjoy it more when you're winning. But I just like the way that they go about the business. You watch them on a warm-up in the morning, it's like a military operation. You know, everything's to detail about what's going to happen in the match, both as individuals and as a team. You look at some of the other teams around the world and they don't seem to have that. Whether it's because they don't have the players, you know, you can argue all day long, but in terms of professionalism, I think England are right up there with, you know, and probably leaps ahead of everyone else in the world. I think England have got the best squad of players in world cricket, so they should be winning games, but I see them winning games for a number of years. And maybe it's just our cycle, maybe it's the time like the West Indies had in the 80s, early 90s, the Aussies had late 90s, early 2000s. Maybe it's England's time over the next 6 years to dominate world cricket.
The Test series has been fantastic, and the Test side rightly #1 in the world. Perhaps a little bit of work to do you think, on the 50-over game in 2020 as well?
Oh, no question, and I think that's probably the one area that Andy Flowers, coach, will be really highlighting and really analysing with everyone in the back room as to how they get the England team being consistent away from home. In English conditions, when the ball swings, you know, the ball carries through, you can play touch shots with the bat. England are very, very dangerous. We win most one-day series in English conditions. When we go away from home, it becomes that a little bit more difficult. You need a bit more power, you need to hit sixes more often, skill elements of reverse swing, spin, slower balls as the seam bowlers, bowling the right Yorker at the right time. You know, and you're under more pressure when you're playing those better wickets away from home. So the challenge of being in India now for the team will be a good one, particularly with such a young set of players. And you know, to be the best in the world in a generation, you have to win a World Cup. You know, the Australians did it, the West Indies did it, and I think England will be looking at 2015 and thinking, I think the Test team up until that period will be great. I think they're going to win many series, but can they get the team playing to a standard to win that World Cup in 2015? I think that'll be Andy Flower's goal.
Leads quite nicely into a look ahead to this winter. What are your thoughts on what England can achieve?
Well, they've got some real tough challenges. the one-day series in India, if you said to me now, do I think they'll win? I don't think they will. I think they'll be under a huge amount of pressure with a young set of players. If they go over there and beat India on their home soil in a 5-match series, I think it'll be a quite incredible achievement. Even though India have got a number of players out through injury, you saw how competitive India were in the one-day series in England in conditions that they weren't used to. So I think England will be underdogs in that series, but it'll be a great experience for the likes of Mika, Butler, Bairstow to go and play in those conditions, experience the crowd, experience what Indian cricket's all about. Then when we come to the test matches after Christmas in Abu Dhabi and Dubai against Pakistan, again it'll be which team can get 20 wickets, and every time I see England play, I just see 20 wickets in the England attack, and I don't see 20 wickets in the opposing attack, because I don't see many great bowlers, but I see a real strong England batting lineup which is very, very deep. Swan coming in at number 10, and I just don't see 20 wickets, and I just think over a 3-match series I think England will get 20 wickets once and win that series. In Sri Lanka, again there'll be a draw possibly in the 2 games, but I just think England will win the series because they've got better bowlers. There's no Malinga, no Murali. For Pakistan there's no Asif, no Amir, and I think for those 2 teams to get England out twice in a test match to win, I think that'll be difficult. So I'm expecting England's continuation of good form in test match cricket to carry on.